good quality, ready-made holsters are very expensive to buy and many times not a really good fit for your gun. Come with me and we will show you how to make your own custom-fitted holsters. Of course, to make a custom-fitted holster, we have to have the gun. And whether it's a gun like this one that's really a replica that shoots blanks, or a regular gun, you should always check to make sure that there are no rounds of ammunition in the gun. You should do this every time you pick up the gun. The first thing we need to do to make a custom-fitted holster is to create a cutting pattern. We'll do that by starting with a piece of heavy paper. In this case, I'm using what they call cardstock. It's a 65-pound paper that you can get at most office supply stores. And after making a crease, I'm going to put the gun with the front sight exactly on the crease near the bottom, and the rear sight also exactly on the crease. Now I will roll the weapon to the right. And I say roll it because as we roll it, we're taking up for the thickness of the gun. If you just lay it sideways, you won't get the thickness. Now take a pencil and I will draw around the outline of the gun, especially here at the trigger housing. I will get the location of the trigger. And on this side, I will mark the location of the rear sight. Now we will take a ruler and we'll make a mark about 3/4 of an inch in back of the trigger housing. And we will make some more marks at 3/4 of an inch. Here where the frame is wider, and also down the length of the barrel. And at the end. Now, the next thing we'll do is take our pencil and we'll sketch a line that pretty much runs through these marks. There are several options that you can do as you're doing this. In this area here, you can put another drop in there if you want. Or you can do like we did here and just take it through. And down here, we will also make sure we have our 3/4 of an inch. Now, right here's our line where the middle of the holster will be. So we are going to now take our pencil and draw in the drop for the trigger housing. Notice I am exposing part of the trigger. This is up to you. You can take it straight across and make kind of a bucket out of it, or you can expose part of the trigger housing. And here we will now come up and over and create protection for the frame and the cylinder. Now we can begin cutting out our pattern with the scissors. As you can see, I have cut out the shape of my holster up to the center line. Now we will flip this over if we're making a right-hand holster, and we will take our pencil and mark the top here, and then we will trace this all the way around. Now at this point in time, we'll do a little more cutting. At this time, it's a good idea to do a check to see how our fit is. And this looks pretty good, so we can continue. It is now time to design for our belt loop, and I've made a mark right here where the top of my trigger housing would come. So I'll come around there with a slight curve, and then I'll draw a line about 1 inch in. I'll do the same thing on the other side. We'll draw an arc, and then we will put another line. Now we will cut those out. As you can see, we have cut out the blank for our belt loop, and now we can fold our front over, as you can see here, and now we can fold this back. Now, several things we need to consider. One is we need to make sure that we're away from the edge, and we make a shape on here wide enough for a 2-inch belt, and also to stay away from the edge stitching. Now, something else you can do at this point, if we do it just like this, our holster will hang straight down. If we would like it to tilt back a little, we could do it like this and make our fold. And that then, if we make our fold, our piece comes here, as you can see, and then to allow for our 2 inches, we can now design a way to fasten it. Now, I not usually like to just do a kind of a point, as you see here. And now we are away from the edge, and we got a good place to stitch this, and the holster tilts back a little bit. So now we can cut this out. It is time to cut leather. I'm going to tell you that this is for a right-hand holster, and I should write on here right. And if it was for a left-handed holster, I could flip it over. And so I will do that and write on here left. And I'm cutting from the grain side, so I will place this and trace around it with a scotch awl. Now I need to tell you I am cutting this from a good quality 8 to 9 ounce vegetable tan leather. If it's a larger, heavier gun, you could of course use a 9 to 10 ounce. But as a rule, 8 to 9 ounce is a very good weight for holsters. Using a good sharp knife, if you can, cut all the way through with one pass. And be very careful to stay on the line. This is important for the fit of your holster. Now that we have finished cutting out our holster, if we're going to do any tooling, now is the time to do it.